And my PPT goes like this: why we have to do research, what are the characteristic objectives of the research, and how to formulate that research problem, and how to write a paper. Like this, my PPT goes. So why do we do research? Research ఎందుకు చేయాలి? To identify a new problem, to help for the society, to obtain some patents, and to gain good knowledge about the topics what are present in the generations now. That's what it is given in terms of a points. To get a degree, that means you can upgrade yourself. To face the challenge in solving the unsolved problems, and intellectual joy of doing some creative work. Desire to be service to the society, and to get respectability and directives of the government, employing conditions, etc. And validate institution, improve methods, demand of the jobs, and for publication or patent. These are the general things, right? We do research. And how to choose a subject. We can choose a subject that is based on idea or experience. That means by contacting some researchers, or based on the reading or originality. That way we can choose a subject. The important features of a research design: how to plan for your research. You should have a plan, you should have strategy. For implementing all that, we must have budget, right? That's what it is said there. Specify the resources and types. Which approach will be used for gathering and analyzing the data? That means sometimes you have to gather real-time data. Sometimes you have to gather the data from the old papers or from the substations, especially for electrical things. And studies are done under these two constraints: time, length, and budgets. What are the I said already, next part will be characteristics of the research. How the research can be characterized. It can be characterized according to the themes of systematic, logical, and empirical. Systematic means all the things must be related to one another. Logical, we have to apply with the principles of logics. Empirical means conclusions must be based on formulae. And another thing, objectivity, replicable, transmittable, and quality control. Objective means why we study that particular subject. So it should result in that answers of research questions. Replicable means reproducible. Quality control means accurate measurements. So how can we define our objectives? We have to try those things simple, use the opportunity, and I have said already to conclude with your senior colleagues or experienced researchers. Then we have to go for the literature survey. What is meant by literature survey? After gaining that particular objectives, we have to see more number of papers what you have done in 4-1, just like term paper presentation. You have to read more papers. From that, all the papers, we can conclude that this is my research area where the particular problem can be modeled. That's what it is given there, I think. You have to get articles, read articles, and in deep go for the reference areas and find the gap areas and measurements and results and define objectives of the study. See, basically mine is a theory. No programs are involved. Don't get bored, right? I'll just highlight how to think a research paper, how to extract the thing, how to solve it. That's it. What are the basic steps involved in a research? Suppose say you are a power system engineer. You have to see the subject. You have the literature survey. You have to prepare the synopsis. That's what you have done in 4-1. And experimental materials, preliminary experiment, accurate measurements by data collection. And it's continuing data analysis, compounding, results and discussion, and preparation of project report or thesis. ఇప్పటివరకు ఏమైనా డౌట్ ఉందా? మీరు చేసినవే నేను మాట్లాడుతుంది. జస్ట్ దిస్ సెషన్ ఈస్ a revision session. What you are going to do next, right? This is what the formulation of research in a diagram way they have shown. A question or problem you have to choose, formulate the goals or objectives, plan the design, then generate the results, and finally interpret results and draw conclusions. For research article writing, you have to find suitable or specified journals, and you have to get the copy of instructions to the authors and prepare article as per instructions, and you have to select the suitable filters and you have to prepare novelty statements. What is a novelty means? A new thing, what you are supposed to do in your project or new thing you have gained from your research. That's what called novelty statement. Sometimes you are supposed to write your title, a novel based approach using some power system simulation. Like that, you have to mention the titles. Some papers will accept like that. Materials, results, conclusion, acknowledgements, and references. Your project book must consist in that format, whatever the department will give you. You follow that latex format, what already shared by ma'am, how to prepare that things. These are the authorship ethics. All authors should involve directly in the study. That means if you are a team of 5 members, all the 5 members should contribute, some for the programming, some for simulation results, other for writing the paper, other for publishing, other for binding. Every part must be concerned by all the 5 members. You are a team, right? So it must be in a team way. And it should be free from plagiarism. Don't copy from others. Just write in your own words and check for Grammarly. There are many sites, right? You can check that way and then follow some ethics. This is the report, what previously said, introduction and statement of the problem, review of relevant literature, statement or research objectives, some theoretical resume, research design. Suppose say experimental work is there, you are supposed to put their experimental work and error compounding, presentation of results, discussion, conclusion, acknowledgements, references, and extra any sub part of your derivation is there, which cannot be presented in the book, that you have to put in the appendix, last of the book, and your papers also. So how many types of research will be there? Application oriented research will be there. Inquiry mode research. Application means it's a pure and applied research. That means you should select a problem and you should do the hardware, and that hardware, how it can be implemented in real-time society. That's what called application, pure and applied research. Finding solutions, so that is given here. Finding solutions for immediate problems facing a society concerned with the generation and formulation of a theory. Inquiry mode means it's just quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative measurements of a quantity or amount. Qualitative means some phenomena which will be resulted for our machine behavior. Akkada human behavior అని ఇచ్చారు. It's a generalized theme. Just we can apply for this to our power systems or any other area of our electrical things. Based on the research objectives, these research studies, they have classified into 2 parts, formulative research and descriptive research. Formulative research means to gain familiarity with a phenomenon to achieve new insights. Descriptive research means you have to elaborately discuss all the things in a descriptive manner, and selection of group includes survey also. And another 2 types are given: diagnostic research, which will compare the already existing results with our calculated results, whatever we are doing in the research. Hypothesis by testing research means we will take some test phenomena, and between the variables, whatever we are calculating, it is also same type of diagnostic research, but some diagnostic research, it should result in a comparison of values. So this is what introduction for the research. So how to identify and formulate the research problem? We have seen until now what are the objectives of the research, what way we can present that, how to identify. And now we will see identification and formulation of the research problem. So they have given some definition here. A research problem is a statement of a concern which will be analyzed in scholarly practice for meaningful understanding and investigation. In some social disciplines, the research problem is in the form of a question. So for identification of a research problem, you have to choose a specific topic for your paper, whatever you have researched previously. We have selected a lot of references, right? Within that references, you have to select a broader region first. Within that broader region, you have to sort out into smaller regions. After sorting that into smaller region, You have to contact your experienced researchers or frame a literature survey. That's what they said. See, for selecting the research area, it will take lot of time. In IITs also, they may take 1.5 years to 2 years to identify first what will be the research problem first. After identifying that research problem, then they will go on researching that particular area. And in that area, you have to divide into number of sub areas. And you cannot do research in all sub areas. Remember that only your willingness or your interest in that particular sub area, you have to select and work on that sub area by contacting with other persons, whatever the research that has happened up to that. And then you have to start from their point. That is what called a literature survey. This is very, very important in identifying a research problem or formulation of the research problem. This characteristics of research problem, what we have said now, reflecting on important issues or needs. See, research should go, which should be helpful to the society, practical society, and being manageable and avoiding useless answers. These are what steps in formulating the research problem. I said already, you should select a broad field, dissect that into sub areas, and select your interested area, and raise research questions yourself, or ask internet. It will give you a lot of questions. Right now in nowadays, that AI is limited version, no internet is there, but for you're having lot of AIs where you can raise a lot of research questions, and within that you can select your objective, assess it, and double check with your senior faculty or who are expertise in that particular area, because all the members cannot be expertise in all areas. Then I have said already this, identify the broad field, and in that you should work for a long time for academic graduation, and it will help you tremendously to get a research topic. And then dissect the sub areas. In this stage, researcher need to dissect and specify research board study into some sub areas. And then finally select the interested sub area. We said already, it is almost impossible to study all sub areas. We cannot study all research areas. Very difficult for us, because in a particular problem, we are having lot of papers will be there. So select it and keep in mind, they said, if you lose interest in research, it won't bring any results eventually. And raise the research questions. Again, they are evaluating and expanding here all the things. Then finally, after getting all that research submit area, you have to form that research objective. Essentially, that comes from the research questions with all discussions from your teammates. And assess that objective clearly in terms of time, what are the resources that are required, what is the technical expertise, and if we do that particular research area, it will result in a solution or not. We have to assess priorly. Without that, suppose say our IAC, you consider College Institute Innovation Cell. Merely idea is not working nowadays, right? What they said, idea with a prototype is more important. So that's why in the same process also here, whenever you are selecting a research, you should predict something first. So this is the result I should get. This is the formula I should use. This is the time I should spend for that. This is the budget I should allocate for that. Or these are the resources I should gather for getting that particular objective or selecting such a problem. That is very, very important. Without that and without any motto, if you do research, that won't result in even a single bit. You cannot proceed for further things in your problem. So double check whenever you are selecting a topic in formulating, and you have done till now for the purpose of your research study. These are the different sources of research problem. Previously, we said what is the meaning of exactly research, and we can say now what are the different sources of research problem. These many resources they have given by personal experience, practical experience, critical appraisal of literature, some consumer feedbacks, say from the customers if that particular device is not working properly and you have to update it. That's what software field always works, and our field also works like that. Social issues, brainstorming, institution and exposure to field situations, and consultation with the expert. Institution means belief. Suppose I'm having some model in my mind. If I want to put practically in that, that's what called institution means self-belief. And personal experience. Some problems we will get daily. We will see some problems there. So suppose say in our area, a lot of machines are there. If I want to automate all the machines, how can I do? Or how can I automate our total campus with a control switch from my desk? నేను అన్ని లైట్స్ ఆన్ చేయగలనా ఆఫ్ చేయగలనా? దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఆటోమేషన్. ఇట్ ఈస్ దేర్. But if you people can do that sort of projects, that will help the college. Like that, small projects you bring into big ones. That is what formulation of the problems, identify it, and it can be happened or not. After trying only we can know. That's what that is said, personal experience and practical experience. And critical appraisal of literature. Critical appraisal means by studying some books or research articles, opinions, and summary of clinical issues. By simulation, we can know something. That is what additional research will be there. And previous research. This is what called literature survey, as we have already said this. Shortcomings of previous research and existing theories. And that means whatever that is given in the book, that we can extend it or not. Consumer feedback, performance improved activity, social issues, brainstorming, consultation with the experts. Then next, literature review. Literature review, you should prepare a report there and see some of the journals are accepting that review papers also. That means without any results, if you study a lot of papers and if you exactly write the literature survey from previous years to this year, what it is happened in a sequence, if you put that also, it will become a paper. మీరు చదివి రాయగలిగింది కూడా ఒక వర్క్ అవుతుంది. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ రివ్యూ పేపర్, విచ్ విల్ బి యాక్సెప్టెడ్ బై మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది జర్నల్స్. After that review paper, your paper can be converted to a scientific paper. That work can be extended. See that literature review, it creates a landscape for the reader where it gives more information. And it is assumed that by mentioning a previous work in the field, author has read, evaluated, and assimilated that work into the hand. So what are the different features of a good literature review? How can you say that that literature review is genuine or not? How can we say? If it gives more knowledge for us and creates awareness such that I can extend from that for the future scope, in general, we can say that's a good literature review. అన్ని సంవత్సరాలు వేసేసి దాంట్లో ఏం రాయకుండా మెన్షన్ చేశారనుకోండి, it cannot become a good literature review. A literature review will be good if it gives more information and it should create an idea for you, where from that idea you have to practice and you can go for your next part of the project. Then you can say that that will be a good literature review. మీరు రాసేటప్పుడు కూడా పేపర్ జెన్యూన్ పేపర్స్ కానీ స్టాండర్డ్ జర్నల్స్ ఇఫ్ యూ టేక్, దట్ క్రియేట్స్ ఏ గుడ్ లిటరేచర్ రివ్యూ. సో టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ లీగల్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వాట్ వీ కెన్ ఫేస్ అంటే, మీరు యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కాపీ పేస్ట్ చేసి వేరే పేపర్ వేసారనుకోండి, అట్లా ఒప్పుకోరు. బికాస్ సి సమ్ అదర్ author will claim that that is my original research work. So that's what they have said, type of legal problems, a focused problem and unfocused problems. So problem of infringement of copyright in existence. This problem is known to all, but we don't know how that problem first. The researcher has to explore answers for these problems. Unfocused means these problems are concealed and perceivable by any scholar. These are the true test of the scholar perception. The researcher has to first recognize and select the significant facts in order to arrive at the legal issue. So they have classified legal, మనకు అవసరం లేదులేండి, కానీ whenever you are supposed to publish your authentic work. Okay, don't copy it from other papers. If you have work, whatever the work is there, you just present that in the form of the review paper or a written paper or literature paper. Like that, there are different types of papers will be there, which will be accepted by journals. Advantages of right selection of the research problem. It gives an enlightened picture of the problem. It paves complete way to the project. What we said already, it has unlimited advantage and boosts the morale of the researcher. If it is a good literature review, it can create a good awareness for the team where they can go for the next part of the project work. Okay. Precautions to be taken. Exactly, you should identify the gaps. Resources are there or not, or ఎక్కడో గాల్లో ఉన్నది మనం ఊహించి అది తీసుకొచ్చి చేయాలి అంటే చేయలేం కదా. ఎంతవరకు అవుతుంది ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అవుతుందా లేదా, దట్ మెటీరియల్ విల్ బి ప్రొక్యూర్డ్ బై that particular team or not. That also you should identify. That's what they say, resources to carry the study forward and applicability of study techniques for particularity of topic chosen and degree of accuracy expected. So second stage of our PPT. And third one, how can we solve exactly the problems? So we know what is exactly engineering. మీకు అందరికీ తెలిసే ఉంటుందిగా, మీరు ఇప్పటిదాకా ఫోర్త్ ఇయర్కి వచ్చేసారు కదా. They have said application of science and mathematics. Why I involved this slide means because see, they have given technical problems and create new systems, products or devices to benefit civilization. As I said at the starting itself, the motto of every research that it should help the ultimate human society. అది లేకుండా ఏం చేసినా సరే పేపర్ వర్కే ఉంటుంది కానీ ఉపయోగపడదు. సో ఇప్పటి నుంచి చేసే రీసెర్చ్ ఏదైనా సరే, బికాస్ ఏఐ ఈస్ దేర్, సో వాట్ ఎవర్ ది డివైజెస్ యూ ఆర్ యూసింగ్ ఆర్ క్రియేటింగ్ దట్ వర్క్ must help the society. That's what every researcher will do. So according to Abbott, they have given profession in which a knowledge of mathematical and natural sciences gained by study, experience, and develop ways for the benefit of mankind. A technological team, scientist, engineer, technologist, and craft person, it should be in between the theory and the involved in terms of practice. That research must be converted from theory to practice. So what exactly the problem solving is the foundation of all engineering activities, and it is the process of determining the best possible action to take in a given solution. Suppose you are doing a power system problem, AGC. Suppose take an example, automatic generation control. What is the output of that AGC? Which చదివారు కదండి, డీరెగ్యులేషన్లో చదువుతారు కదా, పవర్ సిస్టమ్ ఆప్టిమైజేషన్, కంట్రోల్ అండ్ స్టెబిలిటీ. We have to ultimately ఏం చేస్తుంది పవర్ సిస్టమ్? Automatic generation control, you're having two loops, right? VF loop and QV loop, voltage frequency loop and reactive power voltage loop. If you're having n number of generating units, which generator has to give the power to which type of load? This is what called optimization problem. Gurtunda marchipayara, synchronization, every part we will study in that AGC. I have just quoted an example. Like that, there are many research areas in electrical. That's what it is said. Second, the process of determining the best possible action for a given situation. So two types of problem analysis and design is there. One is called analysis problems, where you can get exactly refined output. Analysis test output vastundi kada. Next one is design problems. Design means expectation ante, itla avutundi ani cheptaru design ki, meer correct ga cheppaleru unless it is fulfilled their particular design. That's why it is given analysis closed-end problem, and design problem it is given open-ended problem. A formal systematic problem solving methodology is necessary for both type of the problems. Analysis process, they have given 5 steps here. So you have to define the problem first, whether your diagram or sketch is good, then collect the information. That means whatever the data is there, assumptions are there or approximations are there. Then you should generate a solution and then implement that in the form of a mathematical tool you select by either MATLAB or any computer language. There are many AIs are there today where you can implement any of the AI method and verify and test it, estimate, work another way, try another data input, compare with a plot. And whatever ma'am has said, you can use at this part of the area, all your PPTs or comparison of the plots, check dimensional consistency, all will be done by different tools available. These are somewhat given: calculator, pencil, paper, or the basic thing, what I'm saying now, electronic spreadsheets, some math software or programming languages. ఇది ఒక ప్రాబ్లం డిఫైన్ చేశారులేండి. ఇది మన ఎలక్ట్రికల్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ డిఫైన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అక్కడ ఎంత స్క్వేర్ యార్డ్ ఉంటుంది అనేది ఒక జనరల్ తీసుకున్నారు. ఇట్స్ నాట్ రిక్వైర్డ్ ఫర్ యూ పీపుల్. దిస్ ఈస్ అనదర్ డెఫినేషన్ ప్రాబ్లం. సో అటు చూస్తున్నారు చూడండి, డిఫైన్ ది ప్రాబ్లం, కలెక్ట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ దట్ యూ షుడ్ సీ, నాట్ ది ఎగ్జాంపుల్. You should generate a solution. and then the same tools. Then communicating solution should be clearly labeled, documented and commented. Standards will be followed. There are many standards are there. Spreadsheet solutions are there, or MATLAB solutions will be there. Spreadsheet solutions means you have to use work logically, label the columns and color to delimit ranges in a consistent way, and use name ranges carefully. అంటే ఒక్కొక్క గ్రాఫ్ కి ఒక్కొక్క వేరియేషన్ చూపించమని మీనింగ్ అక్కడ. There are different graphs. Suppose say there are more number of outputs for you. These outputs has to be differentiated with the different colors, and exactly you should label them and you should explain in your thesis also under the graphs. మీరు గ్రాఫ్ ఊరికే వేసేసి గ్రాఫ్ ప్లాట్ చేసి వదిలేస్తే కుదరదు. So whatever that graph says, exactly you should define that under that graph. What is the purpose of that graph? What we are expecting, or what is the expected output from that graph? Suppose say if I am studying a literature, that graph, if I know exactly what the graph says only, then I can understand. Without that, I cannot understand that particular graph. That's what they are saying there. And MATLAB solutions also, subsections ఉన్నవి అన్ని clear గా mention చేయండి. This is what previously we seen analysis type problem, and this is what a design type process. You should define the problem, collect information, generate multiple solutions, and analyze and select a solution by using a proper tool and test it and implement it. This is a contingent iterative process, what they have shown here. You define, gather, generate multiple solutions, analyze and select, and finally test that particular. So how to create a report? Report ఎట్లా తయారు చేస్తారు? Just like a synopsis. First we have to define it, then collect information, then generate multiple solutions, analyze and select the best solution, test and implement it. So see, thank you. My only introduction to research problem, formulation of it, and how can we use that problem solved methodologies. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all the students for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Within 5 minutes, we are going to leave. No problem. Only 2 minutes now. Only 2.
2 minutes. Recording stop చేస్తాం.
హలో ఒక 10 minutes in.
Recording stop.